Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Daily update from the Ukrainian front, and let's see what's going on over there. I have an article from the Ukrainians, and that's from Ukrinform, and I have a map from the Russians showing us where the hostilities occur. So let's get going. I'm going to start with the Ukrainians, as always. As I said, Ukrinform. This article is from 2nd of May 2023 from 7:50 p.m. Enemy advancing in 4 directions. Fiercest battles for Bakhmut and Marinka ongoing. So Bakhmut and Marinka. Let's see where those guys are. Bakhmut this is Ukraine, obviously. This is where the Russians already got under their control. Here is the point of contact. So we have Artemovsk, which is Bakhmut by the Russians. So they say Marinka right here, and we have Artemovsk right here. They don't say anything about this guy, Avdiivka. I think in Avdiivka everything is done. I covered an article, I think 2 days ago or yesterday, when involuntarily the Ukrainians said that their access in Avdiivka is closed. So they could not bring or get anything out to save people from in here under the rubble. So they say, well, we cannot come with that because the Russians are bombarding our route. There is done. That's why they probably don't say anything about it. But hey, we're going to say eventually they're going to say something in this article. We'll see what they say. Russian troops continue offensive operations in the Liman, Bakhmut, Avdiivka, and Marinka directions. So that is this right here in Donetsk and Luhansk right here. Liman is right here somewhere, so from here, all this front. This is where they meet face to face. The rest is bombardments and shelling and airplanes, drones, and things like this. Units of the defense forces in the indicated sectors of the front repelled more than 20 attacks throughout the day. And I'm quoting, the fiercest battles for Bakhmut and Marinka are going. Our soldiers are steadfastly holding the defense, the general staff said. That's been happening for 7-8 months already. Units of the Ukrainian missile forces and artillery struck 4 ammunition depots, 1 anti-aircraft defense system, and another important enemy target. Aircraft of the defense forces of Ukraine for their part launched 5 strikes targeting enemy manpower clusters. Ukrainian defenders also shot down 3 more enemy drones of various types. I would add here that Russians claim that they downed 3 Ukrainian fighter jets, 2 MiG-29s and 1 Sukhoi 25. And now we find out what the Russians did here. By the Ukrainians throughout the day, the Russian invaders launched 3 missile attacks and 30 airstrikes, as well as about 8 MLRS attacks on the positions of defense forces of populated areas. Populated why? Because they're just criminal, right? So I'm not going to read this because this is where they tell us how evil the Russians are, and the same the Russians say about the other ones. So let me read the military strategy here and developments, not 3 chicken were bombed and they both lie. So I don't like that. In the Volyn and Polisia directions, no signs of enemy offensive groups formation were detected. In the Severshchinya and Slobozashchinya directions, the invaders maintain a military presence in the Bryansk, Kursk, and Belgorod regions bordering Ukraine. So they said, the Ukrainians said, the article, that nothing happened right here with Belarus, nothing happened in Chernihiv, Sumy, and Kharkiv, this area, which is Bryansk, Kursk, and Belgorod right here. They just keep the troops over there, nothing happens. So everything happens down here, east and southeast and south. Okay, in the Kupiansk direction, the enemy did not carry out offensive operations. Instead, they launched artillery and mortar attacks on Kharkiv region. So they say the Russians did not do much here in this area. Kupiansk, I think, is here somewhere. Where are you? Kupiansk right here. So they say nothing really happened in Kupiansk area, but all these are just mortars here. They just bombarded the crap out of this place. Now, in the Liman direction, Russian troops conducted unsuccessful offensive south of Dibrova with artillery hitting Makivka in Luhansk region, Bilohorivka, Verkhnyo-Kamianske and Spirnya in Donetsk region. So they were talking about this region where Liman is right here somewhere. Right here is Liman. So Liman is south of Kupiansk. Kupiansk is here, so they go now to Liman, right here, Liman. So we're talking about this area that were just strikes, no offensive conducted. Now they're gonna go to Bakhmut, Artemovsk, Avdiivka, Marinka, Vuhledar. In the Bakhmut direction, the enemy continues to conduct offensive operations. Heavy fighting continues for the city of Bakhmut. During the day, the invaders carried out unsuccessful offensive operations in the areas of Ivanivske and Predchenye, and then they mention 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 settlements in Donetsk region came under Russian strikes. In the Avdiivka direction, the one that I think these guys are surrounded, the Russians conducted unsuccessful offensives in the area of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 settlements in Donetsk region. Going south a little bit, in the Marinka direction, the defense forces repelled numerous enemy attacks in the area of Marinka, Krasnohorivka, Heorihivka, Marinka, Pobieda and Novomikhailivka in Donetsk region came under enemy fire. Now we move to Kherson and Zaporozhye, which are south, right here. This is Kherson, north of Crimean Peninsula. So Zaporozhye and Kherson. And this right here is the Dnipro River. It goes like an S. Oh my God, S, not good. Is S banned in Ukraine yet or no? Well, only doubled are banned. So, in the Kherson and Zaporozhye directions, the Russian enemy continues to conduct defensive operations and shell populated areas bordering the contact line. More than 30 cities and villages came under enemy strikes. As reported by Ukrinform, Russian troops resumed massive missile and aerial bombardment to destroy Western equipment and critical infrastructure facilities in Ukraine. According to the Air Force of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the enemy fires almost 20 guided bombs every day. So indeed, in this area, Zaporozhye and Kherson, the Russians are not really, I think they're overwhelmed by the Ukrainian artillery. The Ukrainians are more active here and here sometimes than the Russians, but especially here in Kharkiv, I think, in Kherson, I'm sorry. So I think they just try to get closer to Sevastopol, and we'll find out what's going to be over there. I can't use the Russian map because something is not all right there with their updating, and it seems like they're 1 day behind, or at least the date is behind. I don't know if they updated the whole thing, so I'm not going to use it. So I'll be behind 1 day with the Russians, and they're going to talk about a different story. They usually talk about two different stories, the Ukrainians and Russians, because they all tell the truth, if you know what I mean. So this is a general macro update of the Ukrainian front, and basically nothing major happens. I'm waiting for that counteroffensive, Ukrainian counteroffensive, and see how far they will able to go. And I wonder if the Ukrainians, let's say, are able to break the front and maybe cut through Zaporozhye, cut the Russians in two, then what? As they probably want to do. That's the plan, but we'll find out. I don't even know if there's going to be a counteroffensive, or because the Russian counteroffensive, alleged offensive that's been that started about 2 months ago or something, it was just a no. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.